Hi, welcome to this video today, which is about Forex trading lessons for success, which you can learn from what I consider to be a fantastic book for anyone to read, even if you're not a Forex trader. It also gives you motivation and a winning attitude. Now, the book actually comes from one of my favourite authors, Michael Lewis. When he wrote the book, he just thought he was writing an interesting, true story. But lots of behavioural psychologists started complimenting the book and saying how fantastic it was in terms of mindset. It is a great book in terms of psychology in life, and you could get some really fantastic lessons for your trading from it as well. It's a great story. It's actually been made into a Hollywood film. Just going to show you a quick intro clip from the film with some quotes to lead me in to the lessons you can learn from what many people might consider a very unlikely book. Okay, here we go. Here's the intro back in 30
We're gonna
seconds.
kick things up. Why don't you walk me through the board?
I believe there's a championship team that we can afford because everyone else undervalues them, like an island of misfit toys.
We want you at first base.
I've only ever played catcher.
It's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
He can't throw.
But what can he do?
You want me to speak?
We're not pointing you yet.
He gets on base.
We are card counters at the blackjack table. We're going to turn the odds on the casino.
Welcome back after that short clip from the excellent film Moneyball, which I'm sure many of you may have seen already. And may not have actually considered it a great book on psychology. It is, and we'll discuss the lessons in a moment. Now, in terms of the lessons from Moneyball, they're actually taught in business schools now. They should be taught to Forex traders as well. Now, in terms of the story itself, it's obviously about baseball. I know nothing about baseball at all. You don't need to really get knowledge from the book. Now, it's about the Oakland A's, who are a very poor baseball team, and they managed to get up and compete with the really big boys, the really rich clubs. And there's probably no other sport where the division between rich clubs and poor clubs is so wide. So it was very unusual for a poor team to do so well. The way they did it, though, is very inspirational, and there are lots of parallels with Forex trading. Quote I put on the way in there about baseball thinking medieval. You could basically apply that to Forex trading. I think it was Nassim Taleb that said that about Forex trading. Most of it is like medieval medicine, the way people try and analyse the markets. They're not doing it correctly. Now, huge amount of lessons from the film. I've just put them on a storyboard. We'll go through them. Regular viewers will probably know a lot of the lessons already, but I always think it's great to get the lessons from a different perspective. If you're a beginner, haven't seen any of our videos, I'm sure you'll find some of the points really helpful in your quest for Forex trading success. So let's go through the key lessons from Moneyball on a storyboard. Right, let's just look at some key lessons from Moneyball in my view. There's plenty more, you just go and read the book. But in terms of the quote at the top, Lewis' book sheds light on the hindrances of groupthink, or the crowd, irrational intuition and conventional wisdom. It does. First point, accepted wisdom is often wrong. Certainly was in baseball at the time, because baseball scouting just focused on the wrong things when they looked at players to build a winning team, and it was obviously wrong. However, been done that way for a long time. No one came in and really questioned it. Now, in terms of FX analysis, does that happen? Yeah, I mean, basically most FX analysis is ways that people are taught to trade totally wrong. You've got obviously overcomplication, you've got predictive patterns, you've got mathematical formulas. On the technical side, the fundamental side, too much focus on big data or data that doesn't matter. It just doesn't work. Yeah, most traders, when they come in the market, don't question it. Yeah, you've got to look at how well big funds and big institutions perform on client money. They don't make hardly anything for clients. Most of the time, they're losing. They just make a lot of commission for themselves. Also, don't compete with the Yankees, okay? Billy Bean was saying, it's not a level playing field. If they've got more money, you don't or can't compete with them by throwing money at the problem. Okay, the Oakland A's didn't have that much money. Now, in terms of the lesson there, don't compete with the Yankees in Forex trading, there is one area that institutions are definitely better than us because they've got more resources, and it's in short-term trading, where the high-frequency trading systems operate. They're lightning quick, far quicker than you or me in terms of taking advantage of those short-term price movements. You just don't want to compete with them because you can't. But most traders do think it's a great way to make money. It's not a level playing field. Don't bother, in my view. Understand the Edge sabermetrics search for objective knowledge about baseball. They did their homework. They measured what really mattered, and they actually came upon mispricing, and they saw there was a mispricing of players. Players that many of the big teams would pay huge money for. They worked out were grossly overvalued. Okay, they weren't as valuable as the big teams thought. There was a lot of players who were considerably cheaper who were actually worth more to the team. It's mispricing, okay, where basically the big boys couldn't see, the players they're paying huge sums of money to were basically not that valuable. Now, Lewis makes the point, and he is actually an ex-trader. I think he used to work for Salomon Brothers, that, in the late 80s and 90s, mispricing, traders made a fortune. You can still make money from it. Mispricing is when the big boys basically overrate something. And we do this obviously in the COT. You get big speculative funds, push prices up too far or down too far, and they get caught, okay, at a market turning point. Now, just like, the big baseball teams, they can't see that, they're paying too much. They push the market too far, and they're never ready for the turn. So the big boys do often get it wrong, and we can, take advantage of that. Break the connection. Billy, being frustrated with his head scan, asked one of his staff if they'd ever played baseball. When the staffer says no, Billy appoints him the new head scout. In terms of breaking the connection, you've got to break the connection between what isn't working and what is working. I've often found if you try and teach traders who've been trading for a while, okay, even if they're losing money, they can't change their losing ways. They're too much into the sort of myths about Forex trading. If someone is coming in new to the markets, they're fresh, they've never been involved before, they could be much more objective and basically learn a lot quicker and become profitable. Now, that's just my experience, but I think it's true, Problems and obstacles. Find the root of your problems and focus ways to either solve them or find ways to transform them or mitigate them. Problems and obstacles. You've got to basically, obviously, get a trading plan with an edge, but you've got to be very brutally honest about what those problems and obstacles are. Are they because you won't change, which is very often the case with traders not, changing bad habits? Is your method at fault? I mean, most of the time it's psychological, okay? You focus on the problem. You don't avoid it, okay? You're going to be brutally honest with yourself, okay? I think a lot of traders start brutally honest about their weaknesses and about their strategy. It's not working, and they thought about why. What are their psychological problems? So basically, confront problems and obstacles and be brutally honest. Adapt or die comes over very much so in the book, and I think it was Paul Tudor Jones, one of the great Forex traders, said that you've got to evaluate and change all the time. This comes into play. The markets, everyone says they are the same, okay? They never change. They do. There are subtle differences in the price action over the years. I've done a whole video on this, which you can go and take a look at. But sometimes methods will not work as well. You've got to change or tweak the method to make it work. I found a little while ago that basically because of the volatility dropping in financial markets till recently, I just had to tweak my system in terms of the way I entered trades. The system remained fundamentally the same, but I had to adapt it. Set out to be the best even if you don't achieve it. Yeah, Billy Bean said they would need to win a series to really have achieved his goal. They didn't, okay, but I think he did. Achieve something that, is really very motivational. I think it's always great when, the little guy beats the big boy. But, even if he didn't achieve what he wanted, he wanted to do it, okay? He achieved a lot, but he wanted to be the best. I think we should all basically focus on being the best that we can. Really take it seriously. We really want to achieve it, okay? I think it's those people who come with a real hunger to achieve who do. Everything else flows from that hunger. There are some of my key points from Moneyball. There's plenty more. A great book. I think even Daniel Kahneman, the Nobel Prize-winning behavioural psychologist, who is probably the greatest psychologist in my view, said it was a wonderful story and a huge amount of lessons in it in terms of learning, the psychology of success. Also rated by numerous other behavioural psychologists. For me, a great book, and also, it's a great story. The film is fantastic. You get some great education, and it's very motivational as well, which is what we want as Forex traders. I'm sure a lot of people think the connection I've made is a little bit wacky. I don't think so at all. Behavioural psychologists love it. It's taught in business schools. I think teaching it to Forex traders, the wisdom of Moneyball, is a good idea. Just my view, of course. But if you want to win, get on base. Okay, that is the video for today. Thanks for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.